sexy. So sexy.
Hey boo, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jada. Today I'm going to be making a mini set of 5 nails for funsies based on some inspo I found on Pinterest. So getting right into it, I'm using medium almond tips, and for my base shade I'm using two different shades, 236 and 482 from Rajism. If you've never heard of Rajism, they're a brand sold on Amazon. They're affordable and I really like their polishes. I always use this mix as a base shade. It's my go-to for sure. After that is all cured, we're going in with new gel paint to paint some French tips because obviously I love a good French tip, so we had to throw that in the design. I've been in the market for a good gel paint for a while and I found this one on Amazon and I think we like her. I'm showing you guys the consistency of the polish, but this was my first time using it, and so far I really like it. It's really pigmented and it has a thicker consistency, which I like because it doesn't run or like bleed after you apply it. If you've tested out different nail polishes for nail art, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Some polishes are really runny and thin, and when like you lay it down, it just kind of spreads and it doesn't keep that sharp edge. This gel paint doesn't do that, so I love it. I'll leave a link below. It was really affordable, and I believe it was under $10, so it's worth a try for sure. Another big reason why I like this gel paint so far is because it's one coat coverage. If you draw French tips, you already know how much of a hassle it is having to go back in for 2 and 3 coats to make the color opaque. This is one of my non-negotiables as a more seasoned nail artist, press on nail artist, whatever you want to call it. It saves you so much time only having to go in with one coat. So I would say definitely find you a gel paint that you like. Okay, now I'm filling in the French tip with this brush. I'm not sure what possessed me to use this brush in particular, but I didn't like it. I ended up using my liner brush moving forward on the other French tips. It was just easier to get into those sidewalls and make sure that I had everything covered. Especially when you're working with almond shapes, make sure that you have all of your sides and your tip covered because those spots are easy to miss. After my nail comes out of the lamp, I like to just look at it from side to side and make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, while I finish up these French tips, I wanted to talk about finding inspiration. If you have problems finding inspo, my advice to you is to open yourself up to be inspired by anything. I encourage you to go outside, whether that's walking or driving. I feel like we can get caught up in going through the motions of everyday life that we start to overlook the world around us. This might sound a little cliche, but girl, go outside, take a hot girl walk, look around you, enjoy the nature, enjoy the sounds. If it's a sunny day, look up in the sky, let the sun hit you. I swear it makes a difference. Speaking from my own experience. And while you're out there, take pictures of things that catch your eye. Look at buildings, greenery, fashion, furniture, patterns, local art museums, local coffee shops. Find inspo from anywhere. And if you don't feel like going outside, instead of scrolling socials, scroll Pinterest. Okay, I found my inspiration picture on there and it's literally a ceiling, girl. So let's get to it. Anywho, back to the design. I'm taking my matte top coat, and this is the ring finger. I'm applying my matte top coat, I'm going to cure it, and then I'm going to buff it. This is for chrome isolation. So I'm just buffing the nail to make sure that any chrome powder, any excess chrome powder doesn't get stuck to our base layer because we want to have a clean line. After that, wipe it down with alcohol because we don't want any dust on the nail. Now I'm going to make my mixture of top coat and black nail polish. This mixture is going to be used for the nail art. So we're going to use this to draw on our art and then we're going to chrome on top of it. So I just took a little bit of top coat, 1 drop of black nail polish, mixed it together, and now I'm ready to start my art. So what I wanted to do for this nail is kind of recreate that chain look, the chunky chain. So I'm just kind of taking a liner brush and making these like C shapes across from each other one by one. I didn't want it to look perfect necessarily. Obviously, it's not perfect. I wanted it to look hand drawn. So I didn't take too much like time. I didn't have too much of a rhyme or reason, and I didn't want to overthink it because if I started overthinking, girl, I would have been here all day. I would still be trying to make this nail right now. So don't overthink it too much. This is for fun. This is for creativeness. We just want to be fun and flowy, okay? Don't look too much into this. So yeah, I'm going around the nail, and now I'm getting around to the end. So I'm going to throw this in my lamp for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, now I'm taking my chrome powder on my little eyeshadow brush. Rub that in. Make sure you burnish it all in. Really rub that in there. And then I'm going to take like a makeup sponge and wipe it off. I used to use like a duster brush to do this. And I saw somebody using a sponge, and girl, my life has changed. Use that sponge. And now I'm taking my Macart rhinestone glue. I really like the nozzle that it comes with. And now I'm putting on my charm. Now, I can't really tell you where I got this charm. I got it from my friend. Shout out to JB Nails. If you're in St. Louis and you like acrylics and full sets and lashes, hit up my girl Jave at JB Nails, period. Okay, so now we're back on the French tips. What I'm doing here, I'm taking that same top coat and black nail polish mixture, and I'm drawing like a little outline on the French tips. That liner brush that I was using, I found it was a little too big for what I wanted, like the look I wanted to achieve. So I did go in with a different brush, and I cut the bristles. That is the brush I'm referring to. I cut the bristles to make it super skinny. And do you see how it's making a much smaller fine line? That's what I wanted. So you did briefly see me top coat that nail with the charm on it. That's all I did. I just top coated it, and now I'm using this tiny little brush. I might just cut another brush like this that's longer, because I really liked how small the lines were. But yeah, I'm just outlining the French tip, and this doesn't need to be perfect either. This set kind of gave like old money vibes, but like in a good way. And so I kind of drew like this little scallop design on there too. It kind of looks like lace. Super cute. Now I'm just doing the chrome method again. And do you see how it's not sticking to the base? Clock that T, okay? So here's where things get a little bit interesting. So these last two nails, I saw these abstract lines on a set that By Chloe Nails did. If you're not following By Chloe Nails, definitely do. I love her sets. And I really liked how she did these abstract lines. So I thought I'm going to incorporate that into this set. So here I am drawing on these lines. And all the while I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, this is turning out cute. I'm kind of liking where this is going. Now, when I got to this nail, I was not feeling it. These lines were more curvy than the other nail, and I was just starting to not feel the vibes. But nonetheless, I decided to keep going and finish these lines. This is how it was looking. I wasn't mad at it, but I wasn't in love either. So I'm like, let me just sleep on it and come back. So this is the next day. And I'm like, okay, let me tie in some gold chrome like how it is on the other nails. So I decided to kind of make another, I don't even know what to call it. I'm just kind of putting, I'm just making like an inner line, an inner whatever you want to call it, with the plan to put gold chrome over it. So after I put on the chrome, it was not giving. I hated it, to be honest. Very ugly. I thought the lines were shaky and not as crisp and sharp as I would have liked. But I was like, let me go ahead and do the other nail just to see if maybe it'll grow on me. It in fact did not grow on me. This was even uglier. So I'm like, okay, forget this. I'm just going to move on to this next nail. So now I'm going in with more Macart rhinestone glue. This time, this is the brush applicator. And I'm going to use some caviar beads to outline this French tip. These are gold caviar beads, and I really loved the extra element that these caviar beads added. I wish it was like a different tone of gold. I feel like this gold was really super gold. I would have liked it a little bit more toned down, but like I said, still super cute, and I really liked how it turned out. Now, friend, this was super tedious. Like, I'm looking at it now in hindsight. This is a time lapse. So just placing every single bead was really tedious. It was definitely a process. I'm like, this is taking a while. Girl, I'm hunched over, back looking like a shrimp. I'm just like, okay, maybe I did a little too much with this. But like I said, I'm far in. I'm too deep. So just finish it, girl. It's 5 nails, whatever. This is where we're at now. And I'm just like, okay, these peacock nails must go. So I took my file and I filed that right on off. Then after that, I'm just freestyling at this point. So when in doubt, friend, bling it out. So I grabbed my pearls and I grabbed my silver caviar beads, and I'm like, we're just gonna make something work. So I didn't really have a rhyme or reason to this. I'm just applying things. I'm letting my hands do the work for me and take over. And I actually liked where this ended up going. I think the pearls was a good way to tie in more of the white, give it a new texture, kind of that like iridescent feel, kind of like shiny. You know how pearls are. I don't have to explain what a pearl looks like. But now I'm adding a bit of, or a couple silver caviar beads. I thought it would bring some extra dimension because this set is really gold heavy. So I'm like, why not bring in some silver and some pearls? Spaz it up a little bit. So at this point, like I said, I'm just placing caviar beads anywhere. I ended up outlining the pearls, which I thought was really cute. I'm gonna have to repurpose that design again. And so I learned my lesson from doing the French tip caviar beads. Instead of putting glue all at once, placing the beads all at once, I started doing it in sections because those beads are going to move and slide around. I'm not sure why I didn't think of that in the beginning, but that's okay. We live and we learn. We're just refining our technique. So this is, I think, the pinky nail, and I'm just doing like the same thing, um, placing some pearls anywhere, surrounding it with the caviar beads. On this nail, I decided to go ahead and put some gold beads too, because I didn't want it to be just silver and pearls. I thought that would be a little random. So again, tie in the gold somewhere. So that's what I did. And I really liked how this has the gold caviar beads on the top and then the silver on the bottom. I thought that was cute. Last but not least, I'm like, let's add some chrome powder to this. Not gold, we're using the white chrome powder, glazed donut vibes. I just love that subtle sheen that the white chrome gives. It'll just never get old to me personally. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this set turned out. I really like this as an exercise for creativity and for you to just be free with the nails. I know as press on nail artists, we can get caught up in making nails for our clients and wanting to achieve perfection, but I just like letting loose a little bit. So, this is the final product. Please let me know what you think. What could I have added? What would you add? And let me know if there's any other videos that you want to see from me. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.